Hi, I'm John. This is my show, A Sports Reckoning. So, this is Flippin' Steve. He's doing a live stream tonight with Ryan Nolan of Breakout Cards. So, I'm going to get back to this in just a second. I just want to play you this clip really quick from the movie The Matrix. Okay? Now, listen to this, and listen, because this is the thing where they say denial. It's the most predictable of human emotions. So what he's talking about is that when people, if I tell you something like the reaction Neo's going to have here, he's going to say Zion's going to be destroyed, and Neo's going to say bullshit, and he says denial is the most predictable of all human emotions. So what he's saying is that instant denial of somebody expressing an opinion to you or giving you a fact or whatever it is, right? When somebody first expresses that to you and you instantly deny it, all that shows is that you're a pathetically stupid human being. That level of existence of where you exist in, it's really, really like the lowest level and shit, right? So let me just play this little part for you real quick.
You are here because Zion is about to be destroyed. Its every living inhabitant terminated, its entire existence eradicated. Bullshit. Denial is the most predictable of all human responses.
Denial is the most predictable of all human responses, okay? So this is what I gotta say. Now look at, if I just come out and say to you just one simple thing, like if I say, Michael Jackson's actually the love child of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, and you say, bullshit. Okay, now, and then what happens is, inevitably the reaction I get off of that is then the people say, oh, well then why does Michael look like Janet? Okay, so now, without you investigating any of my research and any of my evidence, you're not making any, you're not giving any commentary about the evidence of what I put forth. You're just making a denial statement because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and you're just as stupid as can be, like the stupidest of levels of whatever. So this is the kind of thing, is like when people say, well, why do I disrespect you? And it's like, well, you don't deserve respect. Right? I don't respect you anymore because I came into you and I offered you a piece of information, you instantly denied it. So once you instantly denied it, I don't have to treat you with respect anymore. This is the way I feel about people and shit, right? But I still give you an opportunity. I'll still give you a chance. You know, I'll still try and talk to you. I'll still try and be, but like I flat out tell you, no, I don't respect you. Like, okay, now like this Ryan Nolan, he's far more educated about like sports cards and music cards and stuff, right, than I am. Far more. Like this guy, like now, like on music cards, like right now, I don't think he'd consider himself an expert, but in 10 years, damn, this dude's he's gonna be like expert level, you know? Like if he keeps progressing with the same patterns of what he's following through right now, like in 10 years, jeez, this dude's gonna have all kinds of knowledge. Yeah, he's moving in the right direction. He's doing the right things and stuff, right? But still, when you are introduced with a new piece of information, you instantly deny it. What I'm saying is that your soul is flawed. So any progression and advancements you make through your life existence and stuff, it's inevitable that you're damaged and you're nothing, that you're not going to go anywhere, that you're all damaged because the first thing about you is that you've got that problem where you're pathetic and weak and you deny shit. Denial. It's most predictable of freaking human emotions. Like, it's so simplistic and shit, right? Denial. So that's what I say to Ryan Nolan. Like, I've made videos for you. You've never once put a comment on my page and ever asked me a question. Do you not understand this is a free fucking world and shit, right? And so there's no possible way. If I say to you, Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson are Michael Jackson's real parents, I don't care what kind of expert is or that you are, and I've been around the people who have written books. I've talked to them. I've been around everybody that knows they think they know everything and everything. It's not possible for you to explain that statement that I just made. It's not possible for you to understand it. It's not possible for you to explain it. Nothing. It's not possible. So any thought you have and any statement that you make after that is not, well, what's your evidence? Okay? If your next statement is not, well, do you got evidence? Okay, well, let me see that. If your next statement is not that, then you're just like nothing. You don't exist. You don't even know how to ask a question. You don't even understand like how to that somebody just offered you something. You don't even have a basic human response. Your basic human response is like the most simplest form of a human. You're like, it's like the amoeba crawling out of the fucking water and shit, trying to grow legs and shit, whatever. The first stages of human existence from bacteria. You're the bacteria that first crawled out of the water and grew a leg and shit. Like that's what I'm saying. The most predictable of fucking responses. It's the basic most. It's so low grade. Right? And you guys are all college educated. This is kind of shit too. It's like, well, because that's, so I don't want to go too far into this video because I don't have time and shit to do that and shit, right? But so, let me play this thing really quick too, just really quick. Because this also, right here, Ryan, I want to see your 71 Michael Jackson card because I've never seen that card. And you're saying how rare it is, right? And then you're saying of the other 3 cards, see, like the 69 Vendettin, I didn't know that set, I know it's released in 4 books. I have 2 of the books. I think I have like most of the book 2 and I have all of the book 3. Book 4 came up for sale once, but I wasn't able to get it at the time and shit. But whatever. But I do have the Michael Jackson card and shit, right? And then you're saying it's not rare, there are hundreds of them. And it's like, okay, well, that's still, if there's hundreds of them, if there's under 1,000 of them, that's still pretty rare and shit when you're talking about that one card, because it's not like there's 1,000 different sets. We're talking about one set. There's only one card that's out. So even if there's 1,000 of them that are in existence, that's still a pretty rare card. And then if you got one in a high grade, which you understand that those cards are almost impossible to find in high grades and shit, right? Because they would have had not been stuck, which is super rare and shit. So yeah, the card, it still has a form of rarity and shit. But I do like that you're saying that card actually was released in 73 and stuff, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that Vendettin came out and releases because I know that the books are the 1, 2, 3, 4. I understand that, but I didn't know that it was released in the stages through the years and shit, right? So because I had heard you say that earlier too, and I didn't hear it clear what you were saying about that and stuff. So then what you're saying is that the 72 Tip Top Bread is the first sold, and I've got the Vendetta, and I've got both of the 72 Tip Top Breads, which that's the card I like, right? The 72 Tip Top Bread is both killer pictures, beautiful cards. The Michael, I love those 72 Tip Top Bread cards, right? But so now it's like, so what you're saying, it's like the 72, I think, is Michael Jackson's rookie card, because you're saying the 71 Bergman, I think you're saying that that's a Jackson's card. And now, generally, because of cards, I would usually like the Jackson stuff. I would be interested in that stuff. But because of my story, with Michael not being part of the Jackson family, I don't want any of the Jackson stuff. It would have to be super, super rare, something really special. But besides, I don't want any of it. I don't want anything of the Jacksons. All I want is the Michael stuff, because I want the Michael Jackson and the Smokey Robinson and the Diana Ross. So just, Ryan Nolan, just so you know, because Flippin' Steve's never actually brought this up, but I know that he wants the card, because I know you guys are so, I know that, Ryan, you appreciate the 69 Cantante set. I know you really appreciate that. I mean, the 68 Cantante set. So, okay, so Smokey Robinson and the Miracles has a 68 Cantante card. Okay, so now, like, I've got 3 of them, and I have one with the Bisvalita back, or whatever. I have one with that too. So I've got 3 of the Smokies and shit, because I've been getting them from Steve. I get them as soon as I see it. I get them. There's 2 available, but they're damaged and shit. Steve doesn't want them. I really don't want those either one. But the other 3 ones that have popped up, I've been able to spot them before Steve has, and I swooped in and got them and shit, right? So I picked those up and shit. So I have like 3 of those and shit, right? Which the thing is though, the only other Smokey card that I've seen is the 66 Heathers, the Heathers playing card. There was a set of that came up, and I almost it went for. I was like the other guy just outbid me. I was like that. There was a set came up a few weeks ago. I almost got it, but I missed out on it. I was like, but it was like the Smokey. But I got to see the Smokey. There was one of the things I hadn't seen. I knew that the Smokey card was there because I think I seen it in the pop count, but I hadn't actually seen the card, So I got to actually see it, but it was damaged. That was the other things I didn't go really high on but that's the first card I've seen of Smokey. That's the thing I've wanted to ask you, Ryan. What do you know about Smokey's cards? Because like I said, the only card I've seen of Smokey is the 66 Heathers playing card, which is a black and white picture. It's the early, but it's not like the most desirable. I like the card though, in the back of the Heathers, 1966. I like the back, the actual playing card. I do like the picture of it, but it's a black and white card. It's not the best, but it's okay. But it's 66. It's the earliest one, so I would want it for that. But the 68 Cantante, Smokey and the Miracles, that's a card. That's a killer card, right? And so then the other thing is like, how you talk about like the 72 Cantante, and you know, like 75 pop star cards, or all that stuff, right? All these cards where you can find, like I said, you can find Diana and Michael and all of that stuff, right? But not Smokey. The only next thing that have ever seen of Smokey, it's like in the 1991 American Bandstand, total junk wax, right? And then they'll have the special one with the gold signature, but that's still just total junk wax, right? But that's the only thing I've ever seen of Smokey. So this is the kind of thing, too, which I've been telling Steve. It's like, dude, you need to pick up a Smokey, the Smokey 68 Cantante, because that looks like it's the best one. So that's like a thing you really, really need to be out on an eye for, especially when the revelation comes that he's actually Michael Jackson's father. Holy shit. And actually that these songs that they were writing in the development of how the creation of, it's actually the whole creation of Motown. See, Ryan, if you've never investigated my story, like what you don't know is that my Michael Jackson story goes into the whole creation of Motown, because Smokey Robinson met Berry Gordy in August of 1957 at the Brunswick Record Studio. Michael Jackson is conceived just a few months after that. That's when Michael Jackson gets conceived. A few months after Smokey Robinson met Berry Gordy. At that same time, Diana Ross, who just lives a few doors down from Smokey Robinson, she's in love with Smokey Robinson, and she's able to stay the night over in Smokey Robinson's house because Diana Ross is best friends with Smokey Robinson's niece named Sharon Burston. So Diana's sleeping in Smokey Robinson's house and is in love with him at the time of where Michael Jackson's actually conceived. And like that's like the start of it. So it's in the beginning stages of Motown, so they got to get rid of the kid, because really the Motown technically I think is like January 21st of 1959. I think that's when they say like Tama, or they say Motown was established, but that's actually even Tama. They're not even at the Motown stage yet and stuff. It's still just the Tama stage of it and stuff, right? But anyways, but it's because Michael's born August 29th of 1958, so like right after that you see that boom, that's where it goes. And like I said, I give them all, but that's all the details, but you have to watch my videos and understand and shit, right? So that's like all I ask is I was going to play this, but I don't think I played them. Let me play this whole part.
What would be the actual first Michael Jackson rookie card then? Like, if you're looking for it, like...
So if I applied, like, baseball logic or football card logic, the rookie cards, which, again, we don't fully know because with the first card still could be out there. 71 Bergman is the first card with Michael Jackson actually on it.
He's talking about the Jacksons, though.
72 has his first solo cards. He has 2, I believe, in the set from Tip Top, Australia.
Yeah.
And Jackson 5 also has cards from Australia in that set. And 72 also has Panini Cantantes. Then Michael
the
Jackson's
Cantantes, I think, are the Jacksons,
solo
too.
cards are from 1973, which he is in a few different sets. They were with Monty Gum.
See, he's saying like the Monty Gum, because he was saying that it's all messed up, because I thought the Monty Gums were the 70s. There's one beautiful square Monty Gum card, and I think that Michael's name's spelled wrong. The first name is E-A-L instead of A-E-L. I think that's the one. That's a beautiful card. And it's listed as a 72, and there's only one for sale. I know the card. And then they have the discs, which are not as good and stuff either and stuff. Those are okay. They're okay, but not as good. Some of those might be misspelled too, and share on the name. They might have misspelled too. But the square one of that one that is supposed to be the 72 Monty Gum, that one's really beautiful. I love that card and shit. But he's saying that it's actually a 73 card. So actually the 72 Tip Top is actually the best, which I've got both of those cards and I love those cards. That's the one I've been telling people. I'm like, from what I've seen is like, if you want a Michael Jackson card, you want these 72 Tip Tops, and there's some that are graded. And I think you were saying, Brian, how hard it is to grade those cards, which I thought that was really interesting. I was wanting to know more about that and stuff, because you were saying you had to get like write a letter or something. It was interesting, so I was wanting to know more about that. But yeah, I love those 72 Tip Tops. But so like I said, I would rather have the 72 Tip Top solo Michael than if there's a 71 Bergman that has the Jacksons on it. I'd rather still have the 72. But I did see one time there was an early Jacksons that I thought was from 69, and they were wearing the green outfit. They had the green shirts on and stuff, right? But I'm not sure what that card was when I seen it, but it could have been maybe that Bergman in 71, that what you're talking about. It could have been something like that. I'm not sure. But anyways, Ryan, look at the other thing, Ryan, you like all this heavy metal music and stuff, right? So, see, once you find like my screaming and yelling at people, I think it's funny as fuck. But I have to make these videos so fucking fast and shit. You have no idea of like what I'm dealing with and shit, right? And for you to nitpick and say you won't watch my evidence because you don't, it's like, dude, watch one of my videos. If you want to bitch about one of my videos, well, just watch one of my videos. You've never fucking given an opinion about even my work. What's wrong with you? And if you don't understand the value, just simple as can be, like Ryan, right off of the bat, if Michael Jackson was the son of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, and that through the understanding of that story, that Billie Jean has been discovered as being Diana Ross, that Michael's the kid in the song. So we're actually explaining the songs too through this. There's a lot more to it. But if that was true, can't you see that that would increase the value of what we're talking about? And can't you see that those things are desirable, they're undervalued, of which I am giving the information to the community to collect in that? Can I even get some respect for that? But no. Well, so that's when I start yelling at all you guys and say, you're fake. You're not a real human being. You're not a real card collector. You're not a real member of the community because you're unwilling to, first of all, invest. First of all, you're stupid because you're not capable of even dealing with my work. Then you're not a real sports fan and shit, or a card collector, because you don't understand the value increase in the reality of my discovery, how it affects the market. And then you don't respect the whole community because you're unwilling to look at my stuff. And if my stuff is true, you're unwilling then to transition and give the community some of my information. This is why I yell at all you people. And simply, all you have to do to counter that, Ryan Nolan. I'll ask you, please, Ryan, go to my sports reckoning page. Look at the last video I made, the one that has Jeff Wilson on saying the sports card community is a bunch of frauds and shit, right? So it's like basically the last video before this one when I put up. Look at that video, the one with Jeff Wilson, and watch it. Watch it so you have an idea of who I am, what I'm doing, and the quality of the work of what's going on. Watch it and give me your opinion, please. I mean, I don't know. That's all I can do. And if you don't, you know how I react and shit, right? But I'll try and be as nice as I can. That's as nice as I can be, and be talking directly to you as I can. Okay, I gotta go. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.